Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to add some negative space to a design. And this is a down and dirty, quick way to do it. It's not going to be perfect, but it will, help you if you've got like a kid's design. So this design right here is 7.5 by 7.5. So there's not a whole lot that we're going to do with this. I got the design from Of Love and Shiplap. It was part of their 15K bundle that I purchased, and Leanne Clute is who she has a group, and I purchased the design from her, and she's also a member of the White Toner Transfer Support Group. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is you can see I've added a layer down here on the bottom with black. So let me show you how I did that. You guys will get tired of that pretty soon. So I just went down here to the bottom, if I can find my mouse, and just clicked on this little new layer icon. And I'm going to go ahead and drag it down, and I'm going to fill it with black by going to Edit, Fill, and then the last time I used it was black, so black. So now I've got a black background. Let's just assume that's going to be my shirt color for now. It probably won't, but let's make that assumption. All right, so all I'm really going to do here is just make a couple strokes that I'm going to delete so we've got some space between some of these designs. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first one I'm going to do is this little, whoops, a brush is not going to help there, Jen. All right, so I'm going to go to my magic wand tool. Y'all know, y'all have seen me use that before. I love it. So that's this right here, and it may be quick select on your computer. So all you're going to do is look for this little arrow, click and hold, and then choose the magic wand tool. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to duplicate this layer just in case I mess something up. So that's going to be my duplicate, and I'm just going to turn that off for the time being. Okay. So now I've got this layer highlighted, and I want to do a little bit of stroke. So we're going to start right here with this piece of the belly, and we're going to go to Edit, Stroke, and I'm going to choose a really weird color, so I know that I'm not going to delete that or any other color in here. So I've got this really bright blue, and I think probably 5 pixels is too narrow, but I think 10 will be too big, so I'm going to go with 8, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so there's my stroke, and then I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, I'll do this right here. Let me do a stroke on that. Same thing, so the last stroke that I did, we'll do the same. Now notice that you've got a location. You've got inside, center, and outside. And so depending on what I'm doing, I would change it. So if you choose outside, the stroke is going to go outside of the color. If you choose inside, the stroke is going to be just slightly inside the design. And if you do the center, the stroke will be in the center. So we're going to choose outside here. All right. So we've got that. Now I'm not sure that I like this idea here, but we'll see in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get our layer mask going, because I don't like that right there. So I'm going to go ahead. So all I did to do a layer mask was I came down here and clicked this paper with the circle in it, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my brush, and I'm just going to get rid of that because I don't think that's going to work out. Okay. So now I've got to make sure I click back on this layer. And now I'm going to go back to my magic wand tool. And I know for sure that we're going to have a problem with these snowflakes. So let's choose this white. And I'm going to go to Edit, Stroke. And again, I want to make sure this one is outside. And I think probably 8 is going to be too big. So I'm going to choose 6. And again, I've got my layer mask, so I'm going to click on that because I don't think I need to do anything with these snowflakes. So let's go ahead and brush that out. So again, I went over here to my brush tool and I'm just going to make it bigger by using my right bracket. And I'm just going to delete the stroke that I did over here. Get rid of that stroke. And I thought I saw some, oh, and I probably don't want it there either, because we'll do something else for that. Okay, all right, so now let me click back on this layer and go back to my magic wand tool, and now I'll click this guy and I'll do a stroke on that one. I'm going to go back to 8 pixels. And that looks pretty good. And then let's do this. Edit, stroke, 8. And I'm just I can just do a Command D when I want to get rid of a selection. All right, so now let's work on our layer mask. So I don't want, no need to have a stroke on the outside of the design, right? So I'm going to make my brush smaller and I'm just going to delete that right there. And I'm going to delete that because again, that's on the outside. That's not going to be very helpful at all. Okay. Oh, and you know what? Let me get rid of this over here. Okay. All right, so now let's go back on our design. And I think, so the rule of thumb, from what I understand, is 3 inches or 3 fingers. So this is 7.5 by 7.5. So it's probably, we might want to add a stroke in here somewhere in this big area. So let's see where we can without hurting the design too much. Maybe right here. Okay, so I think this might be a good spot. So let's go edit, fill. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Edit, stroke, 8. Okay, now let's go back over to our layer mask, get our brush. Definitely don't want to do any of that. So I had some stuff over on the eye that I want to get rid of. Let's make this bigger so you guys can really get a feel for it. All right. Let me make my thing smaller. So I'm just getting rid of some of that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this altogether. Don't want this here. All right, now let's put it back on the screen and see what we have. Okay, let's get rid of some of this. So go back to my brush tool. Get rid of all this. Now again, I'm not going to do a stroke on the outside of the design. That doesn't make any sense. Let's get rid of that. And I do want that little piece back that I just deleted. So let me just get that back. Okay, and so all I did to do that was I painted in white. So I just clicked my arrow tool and then I'm going to get rid of this one too. All right, and I do think I only need 1 stroke here. That's a little overkill, I think. So I'm just doing a little cleanup. I'm just going to go around here until I get rid of that. All right, now let's view full screen and see what we have. Okay, so I actually think that's probably going to work pretty good. I do see one more area that I probably need to do a little cleanup. Let me get my brush tool. And we only need one of these lines, so let's just get rid of part of that. Okay, so it looks like that. And now all we have to do is we're going to go ahead and apply our layer mask. So I'm going to choose Apply Layer Mask. Okay. And I'm going to make a copy of this again. I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to turn one off. And because if I turn this off, you see that's a big mess. So we're going to put that back. And we're going to merge this down to the layer below. So now you'll see it's pretty much that you don't see that gap again. Okay, so now let's make it a little bit bigger. And now all I'm going to do is get my magic wand tool again. And I'm going to click on the purple. And so now everything that's that color has been selected. And I'm just going to hit delete. And if we view on the screen, everything that had that purple on it is now transparent. So if you'll see, there's just a little line. Now, again, you can choose whether you want to do 8-stroke, 6-stroke, 10-stroke. It just depends on the resolution of your screen and the resolution of your design. But that should give you enough rasterization on a small design like that to where it won't feel like a big hunk of plastic. And now all you have to do is File, Export, Quick Export. For me, again, I use a Mac with Parallels, so I have to do it this way. And then I'll just export it and pull it into my RIP software. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it helps. Thanks a lot.